this video for Computer Science 9618 A-Level, we're going to be taking a look at syntax diagrams. When you're talking about syntax diagrams, you got to be talking about BNF, which stands for Backus-Naur form. Now, in programming, there needs to be some grammar rules that are followed. If we were doing numbers, we might define the rule something like this. The integer data type represents whole numbers. Each integer is made up of one or more characters ranging from 0 to 9. Other than memory limitations, an integer can be of any length. Now, this is a strict rule that is very clear, but there's a couple of problems already. First, if you don't speak English, you can't understand it. Only English speakers can understand and read this rule. And there's so many words to make this rule. There's 35 words in total there. Well, 50 years ago, Backus and Naur came up with a BNF system, which is a better solution. Now, BNF writes grammar rules by using a set of symbols. This refers to the syntax of a program. By knowing the grammar rules or the syntax, the authors of a compiling program can make it conform to those rules. They can change the compiler if they want. Now, there's a word we need to point out, which is compiling program. We're talking about the compiler. These BNF or syntax or grammar rules are for a compiler. It's important to know that. Now, here are the symbols you need to know. There's the less than greater than sign, and that is used to enclose a syntactic item. We will talk about what that means, and we will see this the most often when doing BNF. These are the symbols that you're going to see more than any other symbol. You also need to know : equal, which is used to define something. It means defined by or consist of. We have a vertical pipe bar that is not a capital I, it's a vertical pipe bar, and that's used between two or more items to illustrate an or a choice between something. And then curly brackets or curly braces, whatever you want to call them, mean 0 or more repetitions of the content. Now, if you're in Cambridge, I have never seen them ever use curly brackets or braces, whatever you want to call them. If you're at a university doing computer science, your professor may throw those at you, so you need to know what they mean. So that's why we went ahead and put this on the video. Now, here are two syntax rules using BNF. We're going to talk about both of these. So imagine a programmer wants to construct a database. Now, various authors will be contributing to the program, so everyone needs to know the grammar rules. Let's take a look at this first one. What does it mean in English? Well, a postal address consists of or is defined as a name, a street address, and a postcode with a semicolon separating them. Now, if you ignore that rule, that's going to generate a syntax error. Take a look at the name. Here we have name, first name, middle name with curly braces, and surname. BNF is a lot more concise than using the English language. Also, anyone working on the compiler in the world can understand what this is doing when working on the compiler. So, try to write the correct syntax to define a digit. So go ahead and pause here. Let's see what you come up with. If all you come up with is a digit is defined as, well, that's something. All right, so here's what it should look like when it's done correctly. A digit is defined as, so here we have digit, which is a syntactic item. We have : equals, and then we have a bunch of ors here. A digit can be defined as 0, 1, or 2, all the way to 9. So let's define an integer using our digit rule above. How could we define an integer? Well, an integer is defined as a digit. Now, you see these syntactic items, these items wrapped in the less than greater than sign. That means they can be broken down further. Up here where I have 0 or 1 or 2 all the way to 9, those are not wrapped in the less than greater than signs. I cannot break down 0 any further. I can't break down 1 any further than what it already is. Now, going back to this, how many digits can I define here with this BNF rule? I can define 1. There's only one syntax placement. What if I wanted to do 2 digits? Oh, no problem. I do integers defined as digit, digit. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what if I want to do 3, 4, 5? Well, this can be problematic because I may not know how many integers I'm going to need. We use what is called a recursive statement. This means the integer makes use of itself in the definition. What does that look like? Integer can be defined as a digit, or it can be defined as a digit and then integer : calls itself again, so I can now put in another digit, or I can put another digit in and then call integer again, so I can make as many digits as I want. Now, do I need the very first digit, or can I just have digit integer? Do I even need this one at all? Well, you need the very first one because we may need just one character instead of two or more. This also allows a digit to be stacked upon another digit, like 11,254. For that, integer is defined as, I use the second option, I put it 1, I call integer. I use the second option again, put another 1, call integer. Then I run it again, put a 2, call integer. Then I run it again, put a 5, then I call integer. Then I run it for the last time with a 4. I'm not going to use the second option for that last digit. I'm going to use the first option, which will allow me to exit it. Without that first one, we would get stuck in a recursive call. We must be able to exit it. If I just have this first or this one, digit integer, I'm going to constantly keep calling integer, and there's no way for me to escape. Now, every item you use, the less than, greater than sign on has to be defined. You can't simply say do this. Oh, student is defined as ID. We're done. You cannot do that. You would need to define what ID is. Once all things are defined, that is when your BNF rules are done. So let's take a look and recap some terms. We have : equals, which is defined as, on the left side, we have what is called non-terminals. These will always be on the left side of the equal sign because you can always break them down further. Here it also appears on the right-hand side. All you need to know is, do you have a syntactic item? Well, you may be saying, how do I know that? If you have that less than, greater than sign with a word in between. On the right side, we have to keep going until we get to a terminal, which ends the rule. Now, have we defined ID yet? We sure haven't, because it can be broken down further. So let's use the format for our school. Try to write the correct syntax to define this rule for ID. Now, if you don't go to our school, our IDs have 6 digits. So go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so here's what you should have. Now, because there's 6 digits, I hope you didn't use a recursive statement. That will not work, because ID is defined as digit, 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 and digit. This will hold 6 digits. Now, you can't use a recursive statement, because if you use what we had earlier, digit or digit ID, what that means is I can put in one number for the student ID and it would compile without a program, but that breaks the rules because there are exactly 6 digits for the student ID. So here we see 6 digits. Are we done? We are not done, because we have to define what digit is. Well, we can say a digit is defined as 0 or 1 all the way to 9. Everything we need for student is now done. The BNF rules are finished. So digit is defined as this, ID is defined as 6 digits, and then student is defined as ID. We have 3 statements here. Which one of the 3 statements above contain a terminal statement? What does that mean? That means a statement that can't be broken down any further, and is the digit line because there are no other non-terminals included in the definition. None of these digits 0 through 9 can be broken down any further. ID consists of digit. Digit can be broken down further. Student consists of ID. ID can be broken down further. Both ID and student include non-terminals in their definition, and that means they can be broken down further. Let's take a look at some past exam questions. So this one's about BNF, and this is something they give us. An assignment statement is a variable, : equals variable, operator, unsigned integer. Well, what in the world's a variable? That can be broken down further as a letter and a digit. Well, we also have unsigned integer. What is that broken down? That's broken down as a digit with a recursive statement. Well, we still need to define what letter and digits are. Here are our digits, 1 through 9 and 0. These cannot be broken down any further. We also need our letters, and we need our operators because we need to break those down. Here's our letters, A, B, C, our operators, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the exponent symbol. They did not use division, so you got to watch out for that. Make sure you pay close attention to all of them, because you may be saying, oh, operator, oh, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division while you're looking off at something else, maybe looking at the digits. That is not the case here. So here are 3 questions. The following assignment statements are invalid. Give the reason in each case. If you'd like to give these a try, you can look back at this slide right here for the rules. But these are the 3 questions. Go ahead and pause here and give this a go. Okay, you have given it a try. So looking at the first one, where is the error? It's found near the very beginning. It's with that equal sign. It should be colon equals, not equals. They should have a colon before the equal sign. Just so you know, this X, you don't need to write on there. You don't have to circle it. You just need to explain it. I'm putting it on there so you can see what I'm referring to. Looking at the next one, we have a problem with B2. The last item should be an unsigned integer. B is not part of an unsigned integer. An unsigned integer consists of a digit, not a letter. And the last one, the very first item, A32, a variable is a letter followed by a single digit. And the reason it's followed by a single digit is because when you look at variable, it doesn't call itself again. So it doesn't allow for multiple digits. Let's take a look at this again. So, because we're going to need this for the next part. And it's everything we just looked at, everything being defined down to its terminal parts. So here we go. Looking at the next one. If you want to pause this and give this a go, feel free to do so. All right, I keep saying give it a go. I mean, do you want to give it a try? So, assignment statement can be defined as, well, how do we define an assignment statement? Well, they gave it to us. It's a variable followed by colon equals, followed by variable, operator, unsigned integer. So, all we're going to do is write it in BNF form. Variable, colon equals. Now, the colon equals, you'll notice it has a circle around it. That means it can't be defined anymore. So, we have variables, colon equals, variable, operator, unsigned integer. Then they want us to define a variable, a letter followed by a digit. So all I'm going to do is put that in, letter and digit. These have to have the less than, greater than sign because letter and digit can be broken down further. Then they want us to do an unsigned integer. An unsigned integer is defined as, well, we have a digit with a recursive statement. So we can do it as a digit, or we can do it as a digit followed by calling unsigned integer back again so we can have as many digits as we would like. Then we have digit, which they've already done for us, 1 through 9 and 0, but they want us to define letter. Well, a letter is A, B, or C. Notice these are circles. That means it can't be broken down any further. So all I'm going to do is write the BNF rule for letter, A, or B, or C, using that vertical pipe bar. And the last one, an operator is defined as, well, that is plus or minus or asterisk or the exponent or caret symbol. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to help the channel grow. We'll see you guys in the next video.